Kentucky Ballistics again? Y'all are getting so into this. What happened to his nose? What happens to his arm? Did I miss an update? Did he f up in the last video or something?
God, and I'm gonna tell you about how my—
Holy shit! My 50 cal exploded. Oh, he survived that? What?
50 cal exploded, and I almost bit the dust about 2 weeks ago. So I know a lot of you are probably wanting me to explain my injuries, and I'm gonna do that, but I think it's best we start from the beginning. I know some of you are gonna try to skip around in this video. I highly recommend you stay tuned and listen to all of this.
I would have never skipped, my king.
Yes. But for those who are gonna skip around, let me clear something up first. This was not the Barrett that we torture tested, and this was a complete freak accident. There's nothing that I did to have caused this. So April 9th.
Oh. I hate things that I personally hate accidents that is completely nobody's fault. Because now you get a little sense of like, you know, it's a little bit of anxiety that like, oh my God, this can actually happen to me. Because you always see like statistics or something like that. You hear stories of like, this can happen. But you're like, oh, it will never happen to me because I'm lucky or whatever the fuck. But like, you know, yeah, it's crazy. The plague of one doctor, I think it's tier 1.
9th, 2021.
Because like if it was his fault, he will just never do the mistake again. Period. Trust and believe he will double check whatever he made fault of and will never do it again. But if it's no one's fault, then there's nothing to learn. It's just a learn of like, truly you're not special.
We come out here to shoot a fire hydrant with some slap rounds using my Serbu RN50. So we have the Serbu RN50 with the 36-inch long heavy barrel, and we're gonna go ahead and go big or go home and start out with this. This is a 50 BMG slap tracer round.
Is he gonna show the video of it exploding? No way, right?
The slap rounds tend to go a little to the right, so I aimed a little to the left, but this one actually hit true to where I was aiming. We hit right here. And you can see that thing is smoking. And then we blew right through the back of this thing. Everything was going pretty smooth. We shot the fire hydrant several times, but the slap rounds were acting a little funny. One of the slap rounds hit like 1.5 feet low and to the right. I say we hit it with one more slap round, but this time aim for the thickest part of the fire hydrant and see what happens.
Missed. Hey, they don't call it firepower for nothing, guys. Notice how much larger the muzzle flash is compared to the first slap round. Okay, that's first. Oh! What happened? Why was there such a big difference?
The gun was functioning normally, as it always has. I've been using this gun for a long time now, and I've never had any issues out of it. So before all this happened, we took one last shot, and it was actually really, really cool. The round was stuck out the back of the fire hydrant. This is a 50 BMG silver.
It was really cool, guys. Looking back to it, absolute cinema.
Red tip, armor piercing, incendiary tracer. So we went through the top of the fire hydrant. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's just stuck out the back.
Oh my God.
After that, I decided I was gonna take one last shot with a slap round.
One last, uh-oh.
And try to hit the thickest spot on the fire hydrant. So before I loaded my last slap round, I know that there was no barrel obstruction because I literally found the round in the fire hydrant. But this last round that I loaded into my Serbu RN50 was a very, very hot round, and I had no idea. And there's really no way for me to have ever known that this round was as hot as it was.
Oh, I see.
So here you can see me taking the last shell casing out, and now I'm loading in the slap round.
So it pretty much exploded into itself, pretty much, because of the heat. And then it pushed back towards him and then hit his neck, scratched his neck open. Oh, I see. Yeah, I had way too much gunpowder. Oof. That is rough.
I screw the cap on all the way.
Did it explode backwards then? No way. It just probably exploded. Too
And
much
the gun
gunpowder probably
closes
means exploded,
completely,
right?
and everything is functioning
And
as normal.
it blasts off the... So it would shoot front, but it will blast the back, and that's where his neck and chest is, and that's what...
And one thing is something someone may mention is maybe I didn't screw the cap on all the way. Well, you can clearly see the cap is screwed on all the way, and this gun actually will not close if the cap is not screwed on all the way. So everything was functioning good on the gun. What I didn't know was the slap round that I put inside it was extra, extra hot, and I had no idea.
Is that just RNG? Or did he forget? That was like super loaded? Oh, from the heat of the sun? Or is it just bad No, I feel like that's not the sun. It's just bad manufacturing. That the fact that it had too much gunpowder inside or something. Wow.
And there's really no way for me to have ever known. These rounds are extremely rare and they're very old.
Oh.
They're like $100 a piece. These aren't manufactured anymore. And really, there's no way you can really know what's happened to them over time as they've passed hand to hand. I was under the impression that these were genuine military surplus rounds and hadn't been tampered with. So now I'm gonna actually show you what happened. It's not graphic. All the graphic stuff happened after the fact, and I'm gonna...
Holy f***. It wasn't an ammo company. Some random person we think tampered with it. That's the reason why he said like tampered, right? Yeah, damn. Damn. Guys.
Tell you all about that, but I am gonna show you what happened just so you can see what happened to me that day.
Oh my god! Holy Oh my god, dude! Holy Oh, thank God he was not facing the camera, because that would have been rough to be able to see that. Zimbabwe assassin, thank you 9 months. And
So when I pulled the
thank you so much
trigger,
for the
for walking
raid.
away from
Thank
that
you.
alive Demenishki.
exploded almost immediately. So the first thing that went was this cap. And this cap is solid steel, and it is very, very heavy. If you look right here, the threads
Holy Oh my God.
are sheared off of this gun completely. I spoke with Mark Serbu, and he said that normal pressures are 55,000.
Dude, you know, in the last time I've watched this guy, I did comment the fact that he did look like Charlie Kirk just a little bit. Bro, there's a curse, man. There's like a genuine curse. Unironic, bro. Dude, same almost location as well. That's crazy.
PSI.
That is absurd.
And for those threads to have sheared off and this
Dude,
cap
I'm
to have
not,
just blown
I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Come on. I'm dead ass serious.
off like that, we're looking at over 85,000 PSI. So the cap blows off.
Whoa.
It's kind of hard to put these on because of my little nose brace. I'll explain. But safety glasses are
Hey,
on.
W safety.
And this cap,
Safety first.
you can see this little crescent here. This cap hit me right there.
Holy shit, thank God he was wearing glasses. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, at least it had shocked a little bit of... It's still like... Don't get me wrong. Like, it's still... But... It probably negated a lot of the damage towards his eye away.
I'm not really sure which way, probably more like this. but it struck me in the face.
It could have been worse. Yeah, it
When
could have
this
been
cap
worse.
hit me in the face, it broke my orbital bone in 3 spots, here, here, and here.
Oh!
It also broke my nose, and that's why I have this on. I've had to have facial surgery to repair all this. Here's the really bad part though.
Yeah, at least he still looks good though.
On this lower, normally there's these 2 ears that stick up right here. And this is what prevents you from closing the gun when the cap's not on all the way.
Right.
If the cap is on all the way, it will fit perfectly right here with those ears pushed up against it. When the cap blew off the gun, it came straight back, shearing those ears off the lower. One of these is still at the hospital, and this is the one we found. This one zipped right past my head, went inside my hat, blew a hole through it, and took it off my head, what appears 7 to 8 feet. Now the other one is...
Do you guys know in older guns, like World War I, World War II guns, there was like a chance of you just surviving because the gun doesn't even go off? Because this is kind of RNG, dude. And there were some moments where, like, yeah, some of the guns did just like explode. Yeah, misfires were common, or just didn't even like register or whatever, and you know, it's just not as consistent.
What almost ended me. The other ear hit me right here in the throat.
Holy
It proceeded
shit.
to lacerate my jugular vein and then punctured a hole in my right lung. As for my hand, my best guess is this is what did it. In the video, you can see that the stock almost disappears instantly. I believe it came in a downward motion and hit my finger. You have your natural bend in your index finger. Well, this bone right here looked like a V. So my finger looked like a big W. So back to the lacerated jugular. I've now
At least that's not that bad. That's not that bad. Breaking a finger is not too bad. It's a very like it heals with like not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not like life changing, or at least like it's if it got hit in the wrist, maybe a different story. But like at least it was just his finger in that point. You know what I mean? Hey, that was very. I think everything here is very lucky. It's a good thing that he was wearing his safety goggles. It was a good thing he was it was only his finger. God Lord, dude, he got so lucky. This is insane. I know about the throat cut. Okay, we're ignoring the elephant in the room because that's the most insane one. And
hit in the throat, and I'm not really sure what happened because when this cap hit me in the face, I went blind in my right eye instantly. I have vision coming back now, and they say my eyes should make a full recovery. But in that moment, I went completely blind in this eye, and it was like I had been punched. And I went backwards, and I landed.
God, I feel like it would have been a different story if he wasn't wearing that safety goggles.
On all fours. A lot of you wonder who is behind the camera in my videos. This is my dad. His dad.
Oh my God, dude. His dad looks so sweet.
Name is also Scott. If he had not been out here with me, that would have been it for me. He come running up and he let me know of my injuries because I was still in a daze. I've just been punched in the face by a big metal cap.
I feel like after this, he probably only takes videos of him shooting with somebody else, no matter what. For sure. He probably had some videos where he's just alone or something. But ever since then, he has somebody with them always.
And he let me know real quick that there was a hole in my neck and I was losing a lot of blood really fast. My dad shoved his thumb into my neck and said, "Put your thumb there." Now that I'm aware of what's going on.
Holy W dad. No, that's literally like you're supposed to like, dude, that's actually insane. How did they know how to do this? Were they like, that's insane.
I took my left thumb, I took my shirt, wrapped it in my shirt, and I shoved it as far into my neck as possible.
Yeah.
I was not aware that my jugular was...
Damn, dude. I feel like that genuinely saved his life. Oh, military. Yeah. Yeah. You know, right. The hat, the guns, right. And the shirt, the type of shirt color. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Coaster Man Gaming, I think 7 months. Yeah. Let me see the dad again.
Punched in the face. No. His name is also...
Wow, he is buff as... You know what? Yeah, I think you're right.
Scott. If he had not been out here with me by a big metal cap, and he let me know real quick that there was a hole in my neck and I was losing a lot of blood really fast. My dad shoved his thumb into my neck and said, "Put your thumb there." Now that I'm aware of what's going on, I took my left thumb, I took my shirt, wrapped it in my shirt, and I shoved it as far into my neck as possible. I was not aware that my jugular was lacerated, but I did know this is really bad. I have a law enforcement background, and I've been trained in injuries and wounds and gunshots and things like that. And I know very well that if you get hit in the neck, it's not good because you can't...
It's really not good, no, yeah.
Tourniquet a neck. After I had plugged the hole, I applied extreme pressure, pinched my head down into my hand, and made a run for the truck. So the truck here was right near us. There's a trailer attached. I had to run around the front. I jumped in the passenger seat. Dad jumped in, and we took off. And this all happened in a matter of seconds. I would say...
Whew. W. Not gonna lie, W. That's insane. The fact that how fast they were able to fix, do a temporary solution to mitigate the severity of it. That was absolutely a insane reaction time. Insane dad. Insane, movement. W comms, honestly. That is insane.
Under a minute, we were in that truck and just hauling tail into town. Something I forgot to mention, this upper weighs like 25 pounds. And you can see in the video that...
You know, as somebody who dislocated her knee in a horrible way one time because it dislocated, but then because of dislocation, I fell. And so while it was dislocated, it bent. And then it was in a location where I couldn't really adjust myself or people couldn't help me. So I had to fix it myself. It was insane. But God, the adrenaline rush that you feel seeing your body in a way that you're never supposed to see it is such a rush of a feeling. Not in a good way. It's just more of everything becomes... Okay, let me try to explain it. For somebody who's broken their leg or something like that, you'll know how this feels. Everything just becomes such everything of the background noise. Everybody was screaming in the background. Everything was just everything just feels so time slows down. Yeah, no, it does. Everything feels like this is it. Your brain is going survive now. You know what I mean? And so everybody's screaming at me. Everybody's I was crying because it was so painful. It was the most painful dislocation I think I've ever had in my life. And I've had 30. So that was the worst one. It was the worst one because it went in a way where it was really, really, really bad. It was really, really bad. To the point where even when I was trying to put it back or trying to move my leg, there was a hit of my nerve. That kind of feeling of my nerve hitting it. So I was oh, I can't. Because my mom tried to somebody tried to lift up my leg. Boom! Insane pain. And usually when you're in an adrenaline mode, you're not supposed to feel as much pain. I felt... No, dude, it was insanely strong. It was insanely strong. And I was whoa! And I was don't move me. Don't move me. Just hold on. And then I had to stop. I had to stop crying for a little bit. And I moved the things out of my back because there was a shoe shelf and I pushed it away. Carried myself so that instead of the weight being on my foot of it straightening out like that, it would straighten out in the heaviest part where it wouldn't feel so bad. So I carried myself up, pushed myself back so that the leg would like lengthen, like, you know, it stays straightened more often. And then try to push my knee back. First time, didn't come back. Whew, hurts. Hurts. Okay, maybe it needs to be more straight. Go back a bit more. Boom. Try again. I don't want anybody else to touch it because I don't know why, but it hurts more when somebody else fixes it. Nobody else has ever fixed my dislocation. It has always been me. Not one time has somebody put back my knee for me. It has always been me. So when somebody else does it, it just feels too bad. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. And then so I did it again, third try, wasn't going back. It was hurting, excruciating because I keep, you know, trying to push it back, and it was hitting a nerve or something. Anyway, fourth time was the charm. I was able to put it back, and yeah, and I cried so hard after the adrenaline went off, and I was like, and I started really crying.
It just gets thrown off the table.
But during it, not a peep. I did not speak that much. All I said was, don't touch it. And then I just dealt with it. But yeah, no, it's a crazy feeling, especially when you have to be the one that fixes something. When you are the one that has to fix something, it's a crazy feeling. If you just have to go to the hospital and you're in the, you know, it's insane.
Much pressure came out the back of this upper that it launched it off the table. It's an insane amount of energy that was thrown into my body. So now we're driving very fast into town.
Well, yeah, it's just a dislocation. I would have survived it no matter what.
Throat, and I'm breathing very slowly.
It's for sure not comparable to getting a hole in your neck. So I cannot relate to that. That's for sure.
Trying to control my heart rate, because the faster your heart rate, the faster you're going to bleed. My dad's driving, so I thought it would be nice of me to call the ambulance.
Oh, I thought he said take a photo. I was like, what? No. He just he wanted to call the ambulance. Okay, bro, that would be crazy. Can you imagine? Yeah, that would have been a good time to take a photo. No.
My dad didn't agree with this, but I wanted to do it myself because I wanted to try and stay awake. I needed to be doing something to keep myself conscious. If you have an iPhone,
Demi, fun fact, if you fix your dislocation yourself, it's much more riskier for future damage. No, I'm not normal. That's for normal people. I'm not normal, unfortunately. My dislocations is not because of, like, me doing something weird. My body is not normal. Later on in my life, I'm gonna need surgeries for a lot of my joints. Later on in my life, Not now, but I've had dislocations in my ankle. My mom has dislocations in her jaw. My mom has dislocations in her shoulder. But like sooner or later, there's gonna be something else that dislocates really bad. I'm pretty sure because I've already had dislocations in my ankle, but I never had like ankle surgery yet. I'm probably needing that like maybe in 5 years. But that's the reason why I'm so like, I'm sorry that I'm like this. I know I'm like earning enough and stuff, but I know that I'm very sickly, and there's gonna be so many things that I'm gonna go back to the hospital for. So like money kind of stresses me out because like I don't want my mom to pay for it. You know what I mean? Are your siblings the same, or is it just only lucky you? You know what? When I found out that I had Ehlers-Danlos loss, the doctor was like, so this was a 50-50, this was a 50-50, this was a 50-50, your siblings 1-1-1 and you lost. And she pointed directly at me, and I'm like,
there's this nifty little feature on the side here, and if you hit that button one too many times, it'll call 911. This can be kind of annoying when you're trying to shut off your alarm in the morning.
I had no idea.
But when there's a lot of bodily fluids on your phone and you can't open it, it comes in really handy. I got on the phone with 911 and I let them know what had happened, and that we were coming into town and they were going to send an ambulance to meet us halfway. There were several times where I thought I was going to pass out. And I knew if I passed out...
This shit is so deadly, Demi. Keep in mind, in World War II, it was common to strategy to throw fake ammo to enemy to make their guns self-implode to kill them. Him surviving was so lucky. Yeah, this is all just like extreme luck. Restricted.
That was going to be it, because my dad's driving. If I pass out, who's going to keep applying pressure to my neck to keep me from bleeding out? Times like this, you really need something to focus on, and I focused on my kids. I had their faces in my brain, and I just focused on them, and I fought as hard as I could. I stayed conscious the entire time. We met the ambulance halfway. They got me loaded up, and we took off towards the hospital. And like I said, I know that I was in a bad spot, and I don't know if you know this, but if your jugular is completely severed, you have 30 seconds. I knew that being hit in the throat, I may not have much time, but the closer we got to the hospital, the more my confidence built, and I thought, hey, maybe I'm gonna be all right. When I was in the ambulance, I asked them to cut my shirt off because I was having trouble breathing, and I thought maybe I'd been hit in the chest as well. They cut my shirt off.
The fact that he was still talking is insane to me. Hey, 911, what's your issue? My jugular has been absolutely cut. I am going to go to the hospital now. My God.
There wasn't anything there, but when I got to the hospital, they x-rayed me, and they said my right lung had collapsed because it had filled with blood, and that was from this little guy here puncturing my lung as well. So from there, they had to intubate me while I was wide awake, and I tell you, that is not fun. Take this long metal rod with a point on it, and they stick it through your rib cage, and it wasn't fun. After that, I was feeling a little better. I could breathe a little better, and then they wanted me to take my thumb.
I remember this one time during my wisdom teeth removal thing. Yeah, I'm sorry to like compare this to a wisdom teeth removal, but there was one time the anesthesia, the thingy that makes it numb was gone, but we were too deep into the thing that we can't just like stop now, so we had to continue. No, we didn't miscalculate time. It's just that I wanted to try to get rid of all of it to get at once, but there's okay. The way it works is that when you have how do you say it? Anesthesia? Yeah, when you do local anesthesia and stuff like that, it will work it will work really well at the first. It will work really well. And then after a while, your body won't really like do it anymore. So you're in a cap, right? And I told her, let's do it. I literally told her, let's do it until I reach my cap. Holy, the cap was in 2 teeth, and for some reason I was like, let's do 3. And then, oh my God, I felt everything. I felt literally everything. I felt everything get cut. It was so bad to the point where I ripped my nails dug to the chair so deep to the point where like it ripped through the shirt. And then my mom saw me like dead ass like looking up and crying. The tears were just going through because I could feel the drill just going like and everything. And it was like genuine torture. It was like the worst thing in my life. Yeah, no, it was bad, and I could feel the tendons like ripping out and the tooth being halved. I felt everything, but we were too deep in to like go like, oh, I can't do this anymore. But I can't do anything. If she puts more like local anesthesia or whatever, it won't do anything. So yeah, I just had to deal with it. I just had to deal with the pain. Dude, my bad. I thought that I forgot my weight, honestly. Holy mother of God. That's probably why I couldn't do the third. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Maybe it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, that shit was rough. That shit was so rough. I'll never forget that kind of pain. The pain of being in surgery and you could feel everything. Also, I have a bad, unlucky line with surgery. Did you know that when they were having surgery on my knee, they hit my nerve so hard because the thingy went out. The IV line went out, so they had to re-put it, and they were re-putting it while I was asleep. and it hit a nerve to the point where I woke up screaming. I woke up like, ah! And then I started like crying. Like I literally started crying because it was like so like it was like I never felt this before. There was this one time. It's one time in my life, but it was a shockwave from my arm to my rest of my body to the point where I was asleep, by the way, and I woke up with that tremendous pain that I just screamed and cried instantly. Wow, I went through so much. Jesus Christ. What can I say?
Thumb out of my neck, and I was like, we're not taking my thumb out of my neck. You just wrap it up with some tape. It's stay there. But they told me I had to take my thumb.
How are you even alive? No, you're scared of everything? I never thought I would be hearing all of this when I started to watch today. Dude, well, I mean, watching somebody else go through a traumatic thing in their life makes me remind myself of what I had to go through. Because you don't really think about it,
out of my neck. So they had a bunch of gauze and packing, and as soon as I pulled it out, they packed my throat. When I pulled my thumb out, that's when I saw my finger, and they said that I audibly said, oh, that's not good, because my finger looked like a big W. They informed me after that they were gonna have to life flight me to Vanderbilt Hospital in Nashville, Tennessee. Very, very good hospital with very, very good doctors. Obviously, I'm here making this video.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Vanderbilt Hospital. You guys are the best. So now they're about to knock me out. And at this moment, I realized that this may be the last time that I see my wife or see my dad, because once they knock you out, you know, that's it. Either they're gonna fix you or you're not waking up. My wife had arrived. I called her in there, I held her hand, and we had words. And then I called my dad in to pray.
Holy.
And after that, I remember waking up in Vanderbilt Hospital, hooked up to every machine possible. I'm gonna throw some pictures in here. So they did a number on me. So you can see this cut here, and this actually goes all the way down.
Oh my God.
Down to right here. To repair my jugular and my lung, they had to open up my chest completely. They cut me completely open, just like open heart surgery. They told me a guy my size should hold 6 to 8 units of blood, and total, from all the blood I lost from the initial injury and the surgeries, they had to give me 5 units. There was also a...
I love how he didn't cut that out.
There was also a chance that I could have had a stroke. To repair your jugular vein, they have to pinch it off. Well, your jugular vein supplies the oxygenated blood to your brain. So they can only pinch it off for so long. They pinch it off, they repair it, then after that, when they open it back up, all that blood rushes into your brain, and there's a chance you could have a stroke.
Whew. Stress, stress, stress.
Praise God, I did not have a stroke as well. As for my hand and my face, they had to do surgery on that as well. I have pins in my finger to hold it in place. And like I said, they had to repair my orbital bone in 3 spots. As you can see, they cut me here and right here. And then
They did a good job, though. This is like the most minuscule kind of scars ever for such a crazy damage.
I also cut inside my mouth, all the way back here to the front.
He looks good.
To be able to get to all of those spots. So I had a breathing tube in, but I still wanted to talk. I wanted to know what had happened.
Yo, doc, am I okay? Or like, dude, that's insane.
To me and what was going to happen. Well, my nurse Cody, shout out to that guy, best nurse ever, brought me a dry erase board so that I could write and ask questions.
What?
I wanted to talk to my wife. Well, he would call her for me, and then I would write out what I wanted to say, and he would say it over the phone for me, and then I could sit there and talk to my wife. Also, I really wanted a Mellow Yellow. I was craving it so bad. When I was finally unhooked from everything, I remember sitting in my room, and he peeked his head in. He was like, "Can you eat and drink now?" And I said, "Yeah." And he handed me a Mellow Yellow. Coolest
Aw, what a nice nurse. Holy
nurse ever. So for about 2 days, I had tubes coming out of the front of my chest, one tube coming out of my right side, and one tube coming out from behind my collarbone to drain everything around my lungs. Now to carry this little
My favorite soda is Royal in the Philippines. Specifically in the Philippines, it doesn't taste as good in other countries, IMO.
vacuum pack with me. They removed those really quick. I'm healing extremely fast. They kicked me out of trauma within a few days. This happened on April 9th, which is a Friday. I went home the following Saturday.
You know what? For somebody that went through such crazy damage, he doesn't look like bad at all.
There is a lot more to this story when it comes to my injuries and everything that I had to do to overcome them. Long story short, I shouldn't be standing here. I should be 6 foot under, and if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be talking.
I'm not gonna lie, if I went through something like this, I would also be very religious afterwards. I would be like...
talking to you right now. So I know there's one big question that you're all wondering.
Amen.
What's gonna happen to Kentucky Ballistics, and am I gonna keep making videos? And the answer to that is absolutely. I'm not gonna quit doing what I love because of a freak accident. There's nothing that can keep me from continuing on. I love what I do, and I appreciate
Well,
every single one of you. I am healing at a Wolverine rate. I am
no, we can see that. We can definitely see that.
healing so fast that really a lot of people have been kind of confused at how fast I'm healing. That's God. He's healing me quick. And I'm going to keep making videos, and I cannot wait to get back out here. I have some videos planned, and I think you're going to like them. It's going to be some really funny stuff. Also, I know there's going to be a good bit of you that want to support
Just put a thumb in it. Oh my God.
me while I'm healing, and I really appreciate that. But I don't want to do a GoFundMe or anything like that. If you want to help me out, I want you to get something out of it too. So we got some new shirts. The doctors told me that if it wasn't for this thumb, that I would have died. This thumb saved my life, and my wife came up with this saying. She said, just put a thumb in it. And I thought that was the
W wife. That's a good ass shirt. What is your religion? I don't really. I'm agnostic. I pretty much. I'm not very religious as a person. I know I talk about God a lot, but that's because I'm Filipino. Come on, come on. I grew up in a Catholic school.
funniest thing ever.
Dan the warrior dog. Think it's 1 or 2 months.
So that's what we're going with. We have
Bro was so close
just put a
to
thumb in
this
it
man.
shirts.
I'm so glad
I think
that
these
he
are
made
awesome.
it.
And if you want to support me, there's a link in the description down below. They're available now. Pick you up a shirt and support Kentucky Ballistics. This is not my normal content, and definitely not what you expected me to post this week, but this is something I felt like I needed to let you know. Again, this was a complete freak accident, and there's no way I would have ever known just how hot that round was.
This was such a well-informative video of what went wrong, and I love the way he speaks. There's something about it that just makes me like sit down and just like listen.
Until it was too late. So like I said, I'm healing really fast, and I'm gonna be back to it as soon as possible. But in the meantime,
I love his editing as well. It's just so calm, like just like cuts and that's it. You know what I mean? I love it when people are able to bring out their personality without over editing.
your eyes peeled for some pretty interesting videos I have planned and my update videos. Before I close this video, I just want to say how much I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for making what I do possible. And I know that the majority of you are going to be extremely supportive right now, and I really appreciate that. Don't forget, if you want to pick up a shirt, there's a link in the description down below. And as always, my name is Scott. My name is Scott, and you will most definitely see me next time.
Damn! Oh my! Dude! Holy! Oh my God! 4 years ago. Oh yeah, 4 years. April 9th at 2021. Whoa! It's almost like a 5-year anniversary from this, like 2 more days. Holy